What is up, guys? It is Win coming to you with another Atlas Empires video. This is going to be a real quick one, but I figured this would be some good information for everybody. This is just my take on what should I level first, as far as should it be the houses, should it be the defenses, should you be focusing on the Great Hall, what should you do first, and kind of how to get those buildings leveled up. Towards the end of the video, we will go into just a real brief few ideas on how to be a good member of the Empire, how to make us stronger, get those Empire buildings unlocked quicker, and that sort of thing. So go ahead and sit down and we'll get started. Like I said, the first thing we're going to talk about here is which buildings to level up first. I'm going to go through, there's not necessarily an order, but what I will do is as I talk about each type of building, I will talk about the importance for leveling that sort of building up. Let's go ahead and start with the houses. The houses are probably one of the most underrated and important buildings in your base. The reason for that being, you cannot upgrade the Great Hall without a certain amount of population, which means you have to have citizens, which means you have to have housing spaces. As it gets larger and larger, the builds for the houses become 3 hours and 6 days. If you can see this one right now, if I wanted to upgrade it again to get to the next level, level 11, and to change my citizen capacity from 12 to 13, it's going to take me 3 days and 6 hours. And that takes a look at a lot of resources for hammers. They do become very expensive. However, like I said, you cannot upgrade this Great Hall without a certain amount of citizens. As you can see, obviously, currently I have enough citizens to make the next Great Hall upgrade. I just don't have any of the capacities that I need as far as storage for gold, wood, stone, any of those. I don't have any of those. I'm actually currently working on that in order to get my Great Hall up to 14, and I will talk about that a little bit more as I get to the Great Hall. But talking back about the houses, not only does it increase your population limit, but it's also going to increase the amount of gold that you get every hour. Obviously, gold is going to help you build troops. It's going to help you upgrade your buildings, your higher level buildings. And it's very, very useful. So I always suggest trying to push the halls to the maximum levels that you can, or the houses to the maximum levels that you can, for those two reasons: bringing in gold and making sure that your population limits are always high enough when you get ready to upgrade your Great Hall. One of the other most important categories to talk about is obviously your defenses. If you want more of a hierarchy of defenses as far as the towers, check out the other video I made from Atlas Empires. It contains a lot of that information. We will briefly touch on it, but what I can basically say is if you're getting attacked and you're losing a lot of attacks, figure out, okay, they're using a lot of ground forces against me. I have to upgrade my sniper cannons. I have to upgrade my mortars. I have to upgrade just my regular turrets, upgrade all of the ground defenses. If you're, like me or Hoka, somebody that's a little bit farther in the game, and you're getting those random dragon attacks that are coming in, maybe upgrade your turrets and your air defense, the barrel cannons. The barrel rockets. I was right the first time. And just make sure that you get your defenses up. They are incredibly important. The higher your defenses, the bigger armies you can obviously push back. With that being said, the more resources you can protect. Resources, obviously, you need for everything. Upgrading your buildings, donating to the Empire, building troops, all of that good jazz. The next one we're going to talk about is production buildings. They are not necessarily the most important building. However, something to keep in mind: the higher your production buildings, the higher your resource income is for every hour. So if you can see, obviously this one's making 740, whereas this one's only making 650. And I mean, it's not large increases is something you have to keep in mind. It takes a very long time for these buildings to become useful. However, something to also keep in mind getting it from level 7 to 8 only costs 50,000 gold, 10,000 stone, and 1 crystal hammer. And it upgrades your production rate, it upgrades your capacity for holding more, it just upgrades everything just a little bit. And it's not large. It will hopefully get larger as the upgrades go on, but it is a way to get free resources, so I do suggest investing a little bit of time into those. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about probably the most important building, the Great Hall. I say level it when you need to. It becomes to a point after about 12 or 13 where the resources become so high and you always have to increase your storage capacity. Like I said earlier on the video, that's what I'm currently doing. In order to get my Great Hall up, I need 650,000 gold, 400,000 wood, and 125,000 stone. Well, if you look at my capacities, I only can carry 450,000, 340,000, and 106. So I'm basically working on all of my storage capacities right now in order to get that Great Hall to where I can upgrade it. And the reason why currently for me is at level 14, it is going to unlock the ability for me to build an extra barracks. I'm currently having a problem where I just don't quite have enough troops. I'm running into some of the larger bases and I'm starting to get pushed back. I have to play very, very strategically to get into some of these bases. With that being said, I would love to have more troops, and it costs quite a bit to upgrade the barracks, as you can see right here. Oops, wrong button. There's the upgrades for the barracks, 400,000 and 300,000. That's, I mean, a lot of resources and 2 days. And you're only increasing the unit capacity by 5. So my goal is to get my Great Hall up to 14, unlock that extra barracks, and upgrade that about 3 to 4 times, much quicker than I could upgrade both of these buildings one time to get me the same amount of troops. Actually, I'll get more from about 3 to 4 upgrades of the new barracks. So with that being said, again, I don't necessarily suggest worrying about the Great Hall until you're ready to make that next jump. It is obviously a super important building, but it's not something that you need to be, okay, I need to constantly be pushing on my Great Hall, constantly be pushing on my Great Hall. Make sure that you invest time into the rest of your buildings because every building has a purpose. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the barracks. We were just kind of touching on it. Obviously, the more units for combat, every level you increase it, it gets 5. Additional units or unit spots that you can use for either units on the battlefield or for spells that you're bringing into battle. So obviously, it's a super important building, but again, like the Great Hall, only really upgrade it when you need it. If you, like me, are noticing, hey, I'm running into problems where I need some more troops, figure out a way to upgrade the barracks. Like I said, I'm kind of doing it a roundabout way, upgrading the Great Hall first, unlocking the 3rd barracks, and upgrading that, but it accomplishes the same goal of enlarging my army. The last building we're going to talk about is the training grounds. Level 7 is probably the maximum you need to go for a very, very long time. Why do I say that? At level 7, hold on, wrong button. At level 7, it will allow you to upgrade the units to level 11. If you look at my units currently, I only have level 10 units, and it costs 300 copies to get them to level 11. So I can only assume that the gap from 11 to 12 will be even larger, somewhere from the range of 400 to 500 copies. That amount of copies is ridiculous. Unless you're going out and you're exploring every single day, getting every card dealer that you can possibly find, you probably don't have and won't have enough copies to get a level 12 unit for a very, very, very long time. Also, if you look at the upgrade cost, 700,000 gold. That's an insane capacity. It's going to take a really long time, obviously, to get there. I'm going to almost be there after getting ready for this because, you know, the Great Hall costs 650, but it's still a lot of gold to have to save up to only get, you know, 2 more units. And like I said, it's going to be a very long time before even I or somebody else that I feel like is investing enough money or enough time into the game, not money, time, Obviously, if you're a pay-to-play player, it's a whole different category. But just if you're investing a lot of time in the game, it's still not something that you're going to want to get much past level 7. Level 7's pretty good for a while. That will allow you, like I said, to get the level 11 unit upgrades. That's kind of my breakdown on when to upgrade buildings, when they're important, blah, 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 blah. I kind of talked about all the different kinds of buildings, except for the walls. The walls, upgrade them as you see fit. Units are going to get through them eventually. The higher the walls, the more resistance, the more pushback. But if you have a really high player that's hitting you, the walls aren't going to stop them, especially if it's an airborne army. So just keep those two things in mind. Next, we're going to go into the second half of this video, which is how to be a good Empire member. And the first thing that I can suggest is to communicate. Just let us know. Right up here at the top of the screen, you know, there's that little tiny arrow symbol that's got our Empire symbol. Click on there, hit the speech bar down at the bottom, send us a message, let us know you're here, say hi, how you doing today, say that you watched the video and that you're really interested in being a part of this. We just want to hear from you, especially if you're going to be out for a while. We understand that real life happens, but communicating with us will make sure that, you know, if we do decide to make guild cuts for whatever or Empire cuts for whatever reason down the line, that it's not you. We want to make sure that, you know, hey, I'm stepping away. I've got vacation for a week. Great. Awesome. Have fun on vacation. We won't worry about you for that event, and we'll worry about getting the donations from other people. Communicating will go a long way. Next, make sure that you're on for the events during the weekends. It's free hammers. All you have to do is get on, you donate your Eagle tokens. If you don't know how to do that, I will show you. It's real simple. You're going to go into your base. You're going to wait for it to load. You're going to go over here to this really fancy Eagle Temple. And now in this Eagle Temple, you can gift cards for units you're not using, like the Axeman and Archer, the lowest level units. You can get rid of spells. I don't ever suggest doing that. I would also suggest holding on to all of these materials, crafting materials. However, if you have a lot of low-level outposts that you're not using, you can throw those away. I don't suggest it, especially with the new update that says, hey, place all these outposts all over and we'll give you free runes. Where is that quest? I think I passed it. Hold on just a second. But there's a question here that says, oh, right there, Outpost Master. Place a bunch of outposts on the map. I feel like that's a better use of it. Even if you get no donations, even if nobody wants to donate to the guild, you're still working towards that achievement. It's a better use of those. I suggest donating specifically extra cards, especially from the lower level units, Axemen, Archers, the things that you're not using in battle. Next, plan your upgrades, and then donate accordingly. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Like I said, I am planning to try to upgrade my Great Hall. I know that I need to get 650,000 gold, 400,000 wood, and 125,000 stone capacity. Now, I know that right now, it won't show you, but when this upgrades to level 10, the capacity will go from 100,000 to 200,000. And that will put my wood capacity at 441.5. Either way, it's going to be enough wood. So I've got that upgrade out of the way. I know that that one's set. So the next thing I'm going to do is look, okay, I need to get my stone storage upgraded. So that's 40,000. I have 106,000. So that'll put me in 146, which is obviously, again, more than I need. So what I'm focusing on currently is getting wood. That's 330,000 wood that I need. That's a lot of wood. So I'm currently focusing on getting as much wood as I can before this build is done in about a day and 6 hours. The next thing I'll have to do, obviously, is get my treasuries up. I will have to upgrade the treasuries to at least hold 200,000 more. At these levels, all of my treasuries are level 8. I checked earlier before making the video. So each one is going to give me 100,000 capacity upgrade, which means I will need to upgrade 2 of these. So I'm going to need 360,000 wood twice and 80,000 wood, or 80,000 stone twice. So 160,000 stone. What is that? Oh, 720,000 wood. So obviously I'm going to have to fill my wood up, drain it down, fill my wood up, and drain it down. So I know that those are the 2 upgrades that I need, but if you notice something, none of these builds require me using gold. So currently, a lot of my gold is being donated automatically to the guild or the empire for the buildings. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm obviously going to watch one of those 30-second videos to go ahead and get my upgrade needed, or my upgrade boosted, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that just a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. One other thing that I will suggest before I talk about that is do not wait. Unless you are saving like I am, unless you need 330,000 wood for a big build, do not save a bunch of resources. It is pointless because the more resources you have, the more resources people can steal from you when they attack your base. So, for instance, it is better to make a bunch of smaller donations for the same amount in the long run than to try to hold on to it and hope you don't get attacked, unless you're pretty confident that you're not going to be. With that being said, as soon as I get off this video, I'll be donating some gold over to the Empire because I've got about 200,000 that I'm sitting on, and that is a big prize for people to steal away. Obviously, it's not going to be the full 200,000, but it's going to be a large chunk if somebody comes in and wipes my base out right now. So, with that being said, 4 donations of 50,000 gold are the same as 1 donation of 200,000 gold. The only thing is, if you have 200,000 gold, again, people, if they come in and they wipe out your base, are going to steal a larger chunk. With that being said, like I was talking about, when you come in to donate, make sure you go ahead and click on that bottom button, watch the video. It takes 30 seconds. Make sure you're attached to Wi-Fi so you're not wasting your data. Watch the video, sit through it. You can even put on the video, go fill up a cup of water, go do whatever you need to do, come back, the video will be done. Go on, and it gives you an extra 25% for free towards the Empire, resources that we don't have to work for. So always make sure when you are donating, click that extra button, watch this video, and get that extra boost. Okay, with that being said, I told you I would keep it short and sweet today. I don't want to make all the videos super long. I hope you got something from this. I hope you learned something. Leave me a comment. Let me know either on the Empire page or here in the video. And again, have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you later.